Hello, I'm Rich Falcone. I'm an attorney with the Littler Mendelson firm. We represent employers in every aspect of employment law, and I've been practicing employment law now for 34 years. I talked in an earlier video about the employment law survival kit, and what the employment law survival kit is about is addressing what we have identified as the 4 different cycles of the employment relationship. In the first video, I talked about cycle 1, the hiring process. In this second video, what I'd like to talk with you about is cycle 2, and that is establishing the employment relationship. Cycle 1, you've gone through the hiring process. At some point, that process is going to be successful. You are actually going to hire an employee and subsequently employees. That would get us to cycle 2, establishing the employment relationship. And there are various things that you need to do as an employer and make sure that we do it correctly to be in compliance with the law. Hence, we've put together different things that you need to be aware of as a part of the hiring process. For example, there's the basic and fundamental offer letter. Sounds simple, but there are important things that need to be put in that offer letter, and subsequently, we believe, in an employment contract that identifies the job title, job description for the employee, the compensation for the employee, non-disclosure and trade secret agreement, all these things that you want to do to make sure that you've got a solid employment relationship that's well defined for you and for the employee coming in. It's important because it helps avoid misunderstandings down the road, and in the event there are misunderstandings, provides a path for you and the employee to follow to address and resolve those misunderstandings. So we've got the offer letter. We've put together a checklist for you as HR and as an employer, as a startup company, to make sure you've covered all things. Basic things like we talked about the offer letter, I-9 forms you got to comply with for immigration purposes, and then the practical day-to-day things like the employee badge to get access to the facility. If the employee needs to wear a uniform, if you are that kind of employer where employees actually wear uniforms, making sure that we've checked that off, and we've checked off the responsibility of who has the responsibility for cleaning the uniform and how the employee is going to be reimbursed for it, things like that. And I mentioned the employment agreement. We believe that's very important. We also advocate and strongly recommend to you that as a part of the employment agreement, we have an arbitration provision, an alternative dispute resolution provision that would include step 1, mediation to try to resolve the dispute, step 2, ultimately arbitration when you're not able to resolve the dispute through mediation. So that, in summary, is cycle 2 of the employment law survival kit. We hope this was helpful, and I do hope you have the opportunity to check back for tape number 3, video number 3, where we'll address cycle number 3, which is maintaining the employment relationship. Thanks for your time.